Harper hits one in the air, left center field, back it goes! Harper, the swing of his life!
That was 3 years ago. With one swing, Bryce Harper sent the Phillies to the 2022 World Series. It ended in a loss to the Houston Astros, but based on the success they had, it felt like a championship was coming soon. Now, in 2025, we're still waiting on it. But for a number of reasons, this year has to be the year the Phillies win the World Series. If Bryce Harper wants to make good on his promise, this is his best chance and maybe his last.
We want to bring a title back to DC.
The championship window is something we hear about all the time in sports. The limited period of time a specific group of players will be competitive enough to compete for a championship. Father Time is undefeated, and that's becoming very evident in South Philadelphia. Aaron Nola, who received Cy Young Award votes just a season ago, has rapidly declined. The longtime ace of the Phils, Nola is clearly not the pitcher he once was. This season has featured a lengthy IL stint for him, as well as a 6.44 ERA and a 4-9 record. Yet, he's turned in some solid starts here and there, most recently 6 scoreless against the Mets in a win. Nola's also had his fair share of postseason struggles over the past 3 Octobers, but he's been capable of coming up big for the Phils as well. But who knows how much longer that'll last. After this season, he has 5 years remaining on his contract and over $120 million owed to him. It's safe to say he will not be pitching at a level deserving of that money, but of course, the Phillies will still have to pay him. A theme of this video will be that winning heals all wounds. If you're strapped with 5 more years and over $100 million to a guy who's below average, it's a lot easier to stomach if you have a World Series under your belt. It's not going to be fun paying 37-year-old Aaron Nola $25 million in 2030, but it'll at least feel worth it when you know it allowed you to win the 2025 World Series. 2 more aging veterans are Nick Castellanos and JT Realmuto, but they're different from Nola. Their situations are much more urgent. Realmuto is a free agent at the end of the season, and while Castellanos still has a year remaining on his contract, due to his struggles at the plate, struggles in the field, and his poor attitude, quite frankly, the Phillies are exploring options to say goodbye to him this winter. You're at a crossroads with JT Realmuto. He's been much better the second half of the season, but he's nowhere near the best catcher in baseball as he once was. He'll be 35 at the start of next season. Do you really want to commit more money to him? Do you really want a repeat scenario of the Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins years, where those vets were hung on to for far too long and sunk the team financially? And Nick Castellanos, he's just in the way. Assuming they bring back Harrison Bader, who has been arguably their best hitter since the trade deadline, Castellanos just clogs up a potential outfield of Brandon Marsh, who's been terrific as of late, Bader, and top prospect Justin Crawford. The right move is to let Castellanos and Realmuto go this offseason. But these are the guys Bryce Harper wanted here. The Phillies have made every concession for Harper since he got here, except giving him a pay raise. Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies will be in a really hairy situation if this year does not end in a World Series, and in the offseason you get rid of your franchise players' friends and continue to not give them a pay raise. I'm not saying the raise is warranted or that it isn't, but obviously Harper feels that it is. And then comes the biggest decision of all, the Kyle Schwarber question. To pay or not to pay? Schwarber will be 33 at the start of next season and only plays designated hitter. But as of the recording of this video, he has a National League leading 52 home runs, Major League leading 127 RBI, and has played in all 150 of the Phillies games. He may be aging, but he's showing no signs of slowing down. He's actually getting better, with massive career highs in home runs and RBI. But how do you pay a guy like that? Just 2 years ago, he hit for a 197 average. The Phillies can pay him, but they'll have to be prepared to pay a lot, north of $100 million. Again, you do something like that, and you can easily find yourself in the same situation the Phillies were in about a decade ago, when they paid older players based on past success, and in return got aging, declining, injury-prone vets with high price tags. It's a move that if it doesn't work out, 3 years from now we'll easily be able to point to this offseason as the one where the Phillies didn't learn from their mistakes and refused to move on from older guys. Time is running out, especially on Zack Wheeler, who had the terribly unfortunate diagnosis of a blood clot in his shoulder that will hold him out for the remainder of the season as well as into next year. Earlier this year, he already announced when his contract is up at the end of the 2027 season, he's going to retire. That means the Phillies will only get approximately another year and a half of Zack Wheeler, and there's no guarantee he'll be the same after the surgery he'll undergo. There's a chance a few years from now, the Phillies will be shelling out hundreds of millions of dollars a year to a declining core of guys in their mid to late 30s, in Wheeler, Nola, Realmuto, Schwarber, and perhaps even Harper and Trey Turner, depending on the level they're playing at. Which brings up the biggest point, Bryce Harper. This is Bryce Harper's team and era of Phillies baseball. This is their best shot at winning a World Series. If Harper goes 13 years ringless, there's no doubt his tenure in Philadelphia should be viewed as a failure. Not that he didn't achieve great things, but he was brought here to achieve one thing, a World Series. 2025 has the opportunity to be era-defining for Harper and the Phillies. They will be faced with a lot of tough questions this offseason and in the coming years. But those questions become a lot easier to answer when it's done in between picking out your ring size and designing a banner. Winning cures everything. And this October, this group of guys have the ability to determine whether they will be remembered forever in this city as winners or disappointments. That does it for this one. If you enjoyed, feel free to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.